All right. Ada, there are some things I want to say.
To stay together as one indivisible people. Okay. Noted. Why should they not say that they are
Ada,
all right, thanks for the call. Yes, Daddy Freeze.
there's something I want to say with regards to this. You see, I'm a realist, and I want to face reality. Is the way the North behaving right? No. Is the way we're behaving right? No. You see, Nigeria is the most religious country on earth with regards to prayers, aside Afghanistan. We have so many, we probably have more mosques than Saudi Arabia. We definitely have more churches than both Rome and Israel combined. But we don't love one another. How can we hate each other so much and then be this religious? As far as I'm concerned, is a cognitive dissonance. How can we have so many houses of worship and yet we cannot live together? All those people saying, we don't want their meat, we will eat turkey. How many people can afford turkey? Do you know how many people will be out of work simply because of the meat supply chain from the north? People are not thinking broadly. Listen, let me tell you something. I know what taste buds went through for the last 3 days that the food supply has been sketchy. I know what she went through. It was not fun. There was no beef. There was no goat meat. There was no tomatoes, onions, and no yam. And it keeps getting worse. And the people that are pushing for this division don't own farms. They are inciting you for a division, but they don't own farms. It's not like they own a food supply network. It's not like they own farms or even poultries, saying that, okay, you know what? If we don't want their meat, we have enough chicken, we have enough fish. These are people who work in banks. These are people who some have nothing to do except cause problem. And they are telling you they don't need the North. Now, here's what I have to say. Of course, the South can survive without the North. But if you want to survive without the North 10 years from now, you start to plan now. Start to farm now. Somebody was saying, in Akwa Ibom and in Calabar, they have Edikai Kong, they have this. If Akwa Ibom and Calabar could feed Nigeria, we will not go to the North. Y'all can barely feed yourselves. You don't have a farm? You see, let me tell you something. Just look at Lekki, for instance. Look at the road that they put the toll on. For there to be a tolled road anywhere in the world, there has to be a back road that goes that goes away from the toll. So people can decide to pass there and not pay the toll. I don't know who it is that I'm speaking to. You have not created the alternative route, and you want to cut off a main road. What is your plan B? If you're not buying cow from the north, what is your plan B? How many cows are you rearing? How many goats? Do you know even goats comes from the north? If you sit down and find out how much comes from the north, you will not sever ties until you sit down and actually plan properly. Those people funding this fight the North, it is for political reasons. So remember the people that came and shouted, Jonathan is not good, get him out. How much better were they? It's like you people don't have sense. You don't, how do I put it? You don't see the big picture. Don't let them use you. They wind you up emotionally all the time to their political advantage. It is a vicious cycle. They don't care about you. They don't have alternative food supply. They don't have farms. They're just telling you, and they fed your mind. They've brewed hatred. Instead of you having love and being able to see that one bad Fulani or one bad Igbo or one bad Hausa does not corrupt the whole of Hausa land or the whole of Igbo land or the whole of Yoruba land. The Igbos that are fighting the Hausas, they have issues with the Yorubas too. Oh. And the Yorubas also have issues with who they have issues with. Oh. So it's not like if you cut off the North, there's going to be peace in the South. It's the highest level of fooling ourselves. You can cut off the North all you want. The problem now moves to South. Let me tell you, if Igbo nation is formed today, it will still be problem. Because Abia will not succumb to Anambra. Anambra will not succumb to Imo. And they will continue this battle for supremacy and battle for political power using you, the pawns. Using you as pawns for their own wars. Someone said the USSR divided and amalgamation was not supposed to be in 1914. If we did not do it in 1914, we probably would have survived now. But now, if we do it, if that food chain block was cut off, maybe after a year or 2 years, Nigeria would have picked up, the South would have picked up and sorted itself out, but not without people dying of famine. We can't feed ourselves. The time you spend in churches and religious centers, if you use it to farm, maybe you have a point. Somebody is sitting in America and telling you that you don't need the North. Is he going to send you yam? Is he going to send you food? You see, this is an emotional and sentimental war that some people are staging and fighting for their own selfish needs. Somebody is saying Fulani ideologies are different from the southern Nigeria. Is Yoruba ideology the same as Igbo ideology? They are using you. They are using you. Don't let it be that I did not warn you. They are using you. They've used you before. They have a history of using you. Someone say it will just be a matter of time. And then people will die of famine. Are you really thinking this deeply? And are you thinking this through? And let me tell you, there's also failure rate too. What if you actually cut out and we cannot farm and feed ourselves? What if we actually do? What if? There's still that 20-30% chance that doesn't happen. Those people, let me tell you, this is a problem I have with my abroadarian people. You are abroad and you are figuring out, because let me tell you, there's famine in the South. It does not affect you in the UK. It does not affect you in Australia. It does not affect you. It really does not affect you. You're good. So you can fund ideologies like let Nigeria scatter. You can fund it. It does not affect you. We dey ground. Somebody saying with proper planning, only 1 year. Let me tell you, it will take you 3 years just to get the distribution network sorted. Let me also ask you a question. How long is it going to take you? Listen, let me be honest with you. If we had the ability, it will literally take us 6 months. We have the farms, we have the know-how, we have all those things. How many people are farmers? How many people are farmers? Let's be careful not to make suggestions that are unrealistic. This is a very sensitive issue, and only love can see us through. Let me tell you, I've seen Nigeria. Each government is worse than the previous government. What am I trying to say? The government that is coming is going to be worse than this one. And that is how it is. So, and each of them will come and tell you that they are the saviors. They will save you from the last regime. So it is all politics. It is all mind games. It is, they are using you. We can't live together because they sowed seeds of hatred from the beginning just for their political motives. And my anger is, I wish we're all what is it called, traditional worshippers. Then we understand that, okay, it's because we are traditional worshippers. We call ourselves Christians and Muslims and harbor this much hate and wickedness. They not too will suffer because they will not be able to sell what they have. But the South will suffer, and I don't know who will suffer more. Ada, can we take a couple of phone calls as we round off?
Just one more.
Okay.
All right. Hello? Hello. Good morning. Please, can you speak up? Okay.
Yeah, the conversation that is about actually one of the part of the conversation. I just want to say the concept of the thing. First of all, the Northern is like the whole Northern stage. There was a reason. The reason was that what is the way? Northwest has to keep it close. You know, when you depending on the particular people, by the time they turn their back at you, it looks as if your world has come to an end. And the conversation between you and the previous making, yes, there is need for people to engage because of what they going to benefit for one another. But yeah, people don't want to live in peace, and you force them to live in peace. Now, I went through some pages of this data, and I'm trying to find out what was the reason for the Northern to decide or become one block the food from coming to the South to the important reason. Was it that they had an issue? I couldn't find any urgent issue to raise it. And it came. I don't know if there is anything that I'd like to tell. I'm very happy to know. Now, imagine if it is a South that decide to hold Nigeria would see that no fuel would be exported out of this country. The military will send the full army force to invade that community. To yeah. Why would they not do that to the South? It's a question not answer. And again, as a free public question, why did we get here? The question we need to answer, but also find a solution. How did we find ourselves here and that a lot is saying not to give us food for 3 days? It was partial.
All right, Ada.
Okay.
That they land the own trees and how they sort it to outsiders, building. And see, every average that I educated, they are far precisely good. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I started with Mila. Mila was Mila studied physiology. I was opportune to travel with Mila to Ghana. I saw Mila farm. Man, it was and it came. Northern will never say their land. Whether you are visiting or not, they will never say their land.
All right. Noted. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening.
I did a full stop. I don't. And that people avoid what we did for long there. And that will pull some die from cancer. If you do the amount of chemicals that you see to survive, you buy carrots, you buy vegetables, you buy meat. The amount of chemicals that you use is not just so. And then some it needs to hold that for cancer anymore. They are giving us poison to your head. They are giving us poison to eat.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Daddy, please.
That I believe is a fallacy that the Northerners are giving you poison to eat. Look at River State, for instance. I know 5 people who came down with cancer in the last 4 months in River State. Is it the North that caused the cancer? You see, we like to avoid issues and use all manners of escapism while the real issues linger. People are lying to themselves. The people saying we will. Let me tell you something here. In 2017, there was onion scarcity. What should people have done? They should have started planting onions then. So by now, we will have an onion supply. Nope, it didn't happen. There was a tomato scarcity also, I think about 3 years ago. Who remembers the tomatoes, when tomatoes were like gold? Now, do you realize that we did not start planting our own tomatoes? A few people here and there started, but not enough to supply even our needs, let alone the needs of the entire nation. Let me tell you something. If you are talking about who is poisoning us and who's causing the cancer that we're suffering from now, I will tell you for free that the oil companies are the ones causing the pollution. Me, I will tell you for free, it's not the North. It is the oil. Our oil is killing us. Our oil is the greatest curse upon this nation. And let me warn you, in 10 years, it will be useless. Don't say that I did not warn you. These fossil fuels that we're burning are going to be useless in the next 10 years. The prices are going to crash so low because nobody is really going to need them. I worry for us on many levels. And the worst thing is, we cannot live together. How sad. Why can't we live together? Why is it so hard? You that say you don't want yam, have you planted cassava? You that say you don't want cow meat, have you started a poultry? You'll be talking, you'll be deluding yourself with wishful thinking. And then this wishful thinking to you will be a doctrine. Just like the lies religion has sold you, these the same lies the politicians have sold you, and the politicians are in bed with these your religious leaders. The religious elite and the political elite are together. Now you don't know, now you they got yourself. So here's my advice to Nigeria and Nigerians. I think this is the time when you learn to listen to the voice of Christ that says, love one another as yourself. If there's a Hausa man that is bad, treat him as a bad Hausa man. Don't generalize and say all Hausas are bad. If there's an Igbo man that is bad, single him out and treat him as a bad Igbo man. If there's a Yoruba man that is wicked, single him out and let him face his burden. Let him face his burden. Don't drag a whole tribe. Don't drag a whole nation. Don't drag a whole ethnic group into your wickedness and your intolerance. That is what I have to say. You can disagree all you want, but let me tell you, just like with every other thing I've warned you about, I am very good at telling you I told you so. In fact, I have PhD in I told you so. I will not stop reminding you how many times I warned you. And I like to beg my brothers and sisters who are abroad, no be every Nigerian matter una fit put mouth, because una no dey on ground. And let me tell you, I find it insensitive for someone in the UK that does not share in our plight, or someone in Canada, or someone in the US saying, can't you plant food? While we're suffering and planting food, are you going to suffer with us? Your own food supply network is perfect in the country where you are. I think there are some topics that you need to live on the ground before you can make comments that are insensitive. Of course, you can comment and say, you believe that Nigeria is better off separated, blah, 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 blah. That's your belief. But there's a way you do it that should make us that are suffering in the plight of it, those of us that are right there in the meat of it, you make our suffering. And let me tell you, it's not everybody that has no choice. I have a European passport. I don't need to live in Nigeria. I can leave tomorrow morning. Each time there's a crisis in Nigeria, my embassy tells me that there's a plane ready to evacuate. They send me messages regularly. Do you want to be evacuated? So I don't have to live here. I live here because I choose to live here. So I'm not among the people that have no choice. But I think for those who have no choice. Someone said, are you not Nigerian? You are not living in Nigeria. You are not suffering this thing. So you are alienated from it. So you are making decisions that are emotional. If your child was here dying of hunger, will you say the things you are saying from abroad? People from abroad were funding violence. Yes, go and do it. Go and fight them. Meanwhile, them, they house. The day house for Canada where they sit down, everything they okay. The day Australia, the day UK, the day Sweden, and from there they fund. If war starts in Nigeria today, just remember what happened in Sierra Leone. Just remember what happened in Liberia. Let me tell you, everybody abroad will be okay. They will be okay. Their children will be okay. Maybe their parents and distant relatives would suffer the brunt. But they themselves will be okay. And let me tell you, once you start war, you can't undo it. The moment you go to war like this, it can take you 25 years to get out of that war refugee situation. It can literally take you 25 years. Has Sierra Leone and Liberia, have they balanced after years of conflict? Black people have a way of being used against each other. Let this not be one of those instances. Wake up. Be intelligent about this. God bless you.
Okay. All right, Daddy Freeze. Thank you so much. And I'll end by saying, no matter how we want to look at it, we all need each other. I think it's high time we embrace unity so as to foster the nation. At the end of the day, a tree can never make a forest. We are a nation. And honestly, I don't understand the cultural diversity and hatred we have for each other. So please, let's embrace peace, love, and unity to make this country great. Conflict is never the solution. Thank you so much, Daddy Freeze.
Thank you, Ada. Take care and God bless you.
All right, God bless you too. Good night.
Good night.